Bruno has arrived.
This rivalry earns as and Weck is running for South Melbourne. A West Derby legend. The semi-final of a national competition comes down to a very local rivalry. Less than 20 kilometres separate Lakeside Stadium and Olympic Village. And from their first meeting back in 1964 to the heights of the NSL, the histories of Hellas and Alexander have been intertwined. Their three clashes this season have all proved seismic. A 3-0 home drubbing in round 10 of the NPL season spelled the end for South's longtime head coach Esteban Quintas. A dramatic 1-1 draw at Olympic Village denied the Burgers the premiership, and in a rollercoaster Doherty Cup final, a second half double salvo from young substitute Campbell Dovison delivered an unlikely trophy for the resurgent South Melbourne. But the best is yet to unfold. On semi-final Saturday in the Australian Championship, welcome to the 124th edition of Melbourne's biggest Greek derby. It's South Melbourne versus Heidelberg. Awaiting the winner, as you can see, are the Marconi Stallions, who defeated Moreton City Excelsior by 1-0 earlier this afternoon. The atmosphere is building as the crowds pour into Lakeside. Let's check in with David Bashir.
Thanks, Josh. It's like the old days here at Lakeside, a South versus Heidelberg derby. It should be a huge atmosphere, and the tension is building. Have your say out there, because click on the QR code and see whether you reckon South Melbourne or Heidelberg will win this boutique semi-final. It should be a magnificent contest. It'll be hard early. I think South will physically try to impose themselves on this semi-final, and Heidelberg will play their expansive game. Can't wait for it.
Thanks, Bash. The teams are out. South Melbourne in the all-blue, Heidelberg in the trademark yellow and black. Ben Collins and Marko Jankovic leading out these two Victorian Titans. South Melbourne looked comfortable last week, sealing their progress through the quarterfinals with a 2-0 victory over Northwest Sydney Spirit. Max Mikola was the match winner, providing the assist for Ollie Laval's opener with a trademark long throw before netting a superb second himself, leaving his marker in the dust and driving low past the keeper at the near post. South are yet to taste defeat in this competition, with 6 wins and a draw from 7 matches, and their pre-championship recruitment spree has left coach Sinisa Kohadzic with a plethora of attacking options to choose from. Heidelberg remained the only other unbeaten side in the competition, deftly navigating a tough group containing Marconi and Wollongong, while heavily rotating their lineups along the way. John Anastasiadis checking himself into hospital after suffering dizziness before last week's quarterfinal against Metro Stars. His side going behind in just the second minute. But a surprise lead for the South Australians, not lasting long. By the time Johnny A checked the score, the Burgers were already 2-1 up. We're going to pause here for a moment's silence for a close relative of one of the South Melbourne players who passed away yesterday. Observed here at Lakeside before a massive game. Let's get into the team news. For South Melbourne, they name an unchanged 11 from the side who dispatched Spirit last week. There's only one change on the bench. The Doherty Cup final hero against Heidelberg, Campbell Dovison, has been ruled out with an ankle knock. In comes Jack Pope to replace him. Look out for Max Mikola's long throws. Ollie Laval has been frequently amongst the goals, and Yuki Uchida, the new signing from Dandenong Thunder, has provided plenty of creative impetus in the final third. For Heidelberg, a completely unchanged squad from last week. when they put 6 goals past Metro Stars. Mohamed Aidara is on the bench after being cleared from a head knock he sustained just 7 minutes after coming off the bench. Marcus Humbert is in fine form with a double last week, as well as Bull Juach, who is 4 goals away from equaling a club record. Let's check in with both head coaches, who David Bashir caught up with earlier this afternoon.
It's a better energy. We make sure that we try to control the game and don't let them control the game. And if we succeed in not letting them control the game, I think that we should be the winners today.
Hopefully the weather gods are kind to us today, Singers.
Yeah, well, it looks like you'll be clearing, but there'll be moments of rain too, so let's deal with it.
Yeah, look, we've got to match them in their physicality and their aggressiveness. No doubt they press quite well. So, you know, we know South, it's going to be a big derby. It's a big derby for football in Melbourne today, and I suppose for the Oz Championship. So, you know, it's a bit of spice to it. But, you know, I think that if we just go out there, play our style of football, we won't have a problem. But again, we have to match them in what their strengths are, and we have to negate those strengths.
That's what Sinisa Kahadzic and John Anastasiadis had to say ahead of their 4th meeting of the season. The ledger is square. 1 win, 1 loss and 1 draw for either side. The decisive fixture yet to come. This afternoon marking Heidelberg's 47th game of a marathon season, in which they fulfilled every possible fixture. Will they make it to a 3rd grand final in 2025? Or does this unprecedented streak finally end? The crowd is raring to go, and so are the players. Today's referee, Tim Danaskos from New South Wales, ready to kick us off. Aaron Block and James Sherry running the line. The 4th official in charge of the FVS review system is Jack Morgan. The 5th official is Ben Lapilio. And we're away at Lakeside. An all-Victorian Hellenic derby. South Melbourne playing host to Heidelberg. We've had a good time of it here at Lakeside of late. A bit of head tennis to start as Ben Collins clears the danger for the Burgers. My name is Josh Parrish, and it's my delight to introduce a South Melbourne legend who thrived in the late 90s under Ange Postecoglou, but not many people know he actually came through the Heidelberg United Juniors. Michael Kasija, welcome.
Thanks, Josh. It's great to be here. Looking forward to a fantastic game.
We're going to go straight into one of these set-piece routines. Just how difficult is it to defend a long, flat launch like Max Mikula has in his locker? Here he goes off the long run-up on the running track. Collins over his own crossbar. In fact, the last touch was off a South Melbourne head, and we're going to have a goal kick for Yaron Souza. Heidelberg survive at the first time of asking. You can see the last touch there off Marshall. Now South have won it back. Lesiotis sliding in. Mikula vaulted the challenge, and it was blocked by Lethlean. Dow riding the challenge of Painter Andrews. He's charged 50 metres down the touchline and wins a throw deep in enemy territory. A great burst from Chok Dow. Lesiotis. Faulted. Lethlean back to Souza. See there, the goalkeeper just calling for calm. I don't want this to be too crash and bash, too physical. The best bit of distribution from Souza, but Heidelberg see the throw go their way anyway. Kakawa dipping around Yiannopoulos, but the ball runs on too long for him. Humbert. Yokokawa. McGowan failing to control that one. Out into touch. Siege, what about the atmosphere here today? It's just built and built as we got closer and closer to kick-off. I think there are still fans streaming through the gates.
Yeah, it's great to see the old traditional rivals going at it again. This is what the Australian Championship is all about, isn't it? Two old school football clubs in the semi-final at Lakeside. It's great to see.
To give you a bit of a deja vu, a few flashbacks. I know the ground looks a lot different to how it did when you played, but with the running track around it, but feeling that South Melbourne roar on the national stage again. This is Mikola. Move breaks down, McGowan for Dow. Centering ball for Juach. The yellow shirts fly forward as Juach lets fly. As always, heading wide with the aid of a deflection. So Heidelberg have their own first corner of the game. Lampard just coming across late to get a piece of that. Down over the set piece. Onto the back post, it's rising, and it's headed goalwards by Yokokawa. Brilliant save. Yokokawa back in board, and onto the roof of the net. Heidelberg come close. In the space of a few seconds, twice. South Melbourne living dangerously.
Yeah, really great header there. Unfortunately, straight at the keeper, who showed some great reflexes right on the spot.
Yokokawa nearly made up for his miss from a very acute angle. He'll have a few nightmares at that end of the ground after his late miss in the Australian Championship final here against the Newcastle Jets. Would have won the game 1v1 before it went to extra time. Cheetah. His header skywards. Anthony Theo gets caught in possession, but quickly makes up for his error. Yankovic puts it over the top. Mikola's the targets. Fletcher Fulton racing back. And the Mike Cockrell medalist sweeps up the danger for the Burgers. That's a careless pass from Dow. Pasquale had his sights set on goal, but it's blocked en route by Lethlean. It's been a high-tempo start to the game, Siege.
Really, really even start. Both teams were having a real crack. Neither team sitting back. Good strike. Defender just got his body in the way.
Lethlean just tucking his arm in at the opportune moment, so there was no accusations of handball. Mikola's deliveries into the swirling winds. It's chaos in the box. Yankovic! And Yaron Souza comes up with an acrobatic stop on the line. Now Juach charging down the clearance from Lampard. Hayter Andrews across to cover his teammate at fullback. How is this game still 0-0? Humbert finding Bull Juach. It's the raging Bull. Dragging his shot wide, and this time there's no deflection. Out for a goal kick. Every time either side goes forward, it looks like they're about to score.
Very similar here, point blank header, this time for South Melbourne, and what a fantastic save by the keeper there.
NPL Victoria's goalkeeper of the year, Yaron Souza, showing just what he's made of. Huge chances for Yokokawa and for Marko Yankovic off set piece scenarios. Close range. More used to seeing Yankovic get up for those sort of aerial chances. Yokokawa not usually the obvious target off a corner, but he got free. Now Lethlean sidestepping Pasquale. Now Lethlean continued his run into the attack, but Choctaw couldn't find him. Yokokawa takes over. Yokokawa goes down under the clumsy challenge of Tom Yanakopoulos, and the appeal is waved away by Tim Danaskos. Well, could we see the first use of the video review system this afternoon?
tell you what, very close to being a penalty, that. Rather clumsy challenge. I'm surprised the coach is not throwing the card.
Siniša Kohadzic breathes a sigh of relief as Johnny A keeps his cards quite literally in his pocket. Heidelberg will still be burning from that Doherty Cup final when they had a penalty appeal turned down and what seemed to be a legitimate goal for Moe Dara ruled out for a phantom offside. So Johnny A was one of the happiest coaches to see the system introduced after what happened to them in big games this season, especially that cup final against South. To Andrews, from Pasquale, bit of wrestling going on. Leftley let it run, and Uchida beats Fulton to the ball. No foul. Bernarda off the outside of the boots, and it was almost a pinpoint assist. Now Ollie Laval wants a penalty. Here it is again.
I think you'll see both players here holding each other. Not enough there for a penalty.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Exactly.
Now it's Kohadzic's turn. And he's going to play his review card. So Tim Danaskos will come to the tent and have another look at that one. I'm surprised, Siege, because I thought the penalty at the other end was
I think
the other side.
This one. Yeah, exactly. But I suppose that's the benefit of this new system, that it is on the coaches to put their hand up and play their cards.
They've got to make sure it's not a foul from Uchida on Fulton. For my money, he goes for the ball fairly, but has he used his arms unfairly in the
I think that's a fair challenge. His eyes are on the ball.
The strike against Theodoropoulos here will be that he turned his back to the ball.
The problem there is the Heidelberg defender is not looking at the ball.
Yeah.
At all. South Melbourne player is looking to make a run. He's getting held back by the Heidelberg player there.
Well, the more we look at it, the more it looks like a spot kick. Tim Danaskos says no. Challenge unsuccessful. And now South Melbourne have only one card remaining.
Worth a challenge, though.
It's not a clear and obvious error from the referee. It's a pretty contentious is probably the wrong word. It's a tight call, but
it would be hard for the referee to overturn that.
Yeah,
I think
maybe easier to uphold than overturn.
Correct.
Well, the new football video support system getting a workout. Theodoropoulos. Shimmying this way and that, finding a brilliant pass through the gap for Humbert. Referee having to dodge out of the way. Theo. Jankovic stepping in. Well won by the South Melbourne skipper. Now Bernarda. Did he have his hands on Leftley there? Well, the tempo that we've started at has been absolutely fantastic.
It really has gone from one end to the other. Both teams almost bypassing the midfield, playing it quickly up to their attackers, hoping for them to create something.
Probably that frenetic pace is going to suit South Melbourne more than it will Heidelberg. South Melbourne love to press, they love the chaos. Heidelberg can play in transition, of course. They'd rather have a little bit more sustained possession on the ball.
Yeah, Heidelberg under Anastasiadis, they like to keep the ball, have control of the game, get their fullbacks high and wide, get the ball into the final third and then try to create something.
Yannikopoulos' clearance was charged down. Another ball in from McGowan. He's turned behind for another Heidelberg corner. This game is absolutely anyone's, end to end to end. Humbert opts for the short option to Lesiotis. He's taken a heavy touch and it costs him. Mikkola strong into the challenge on 2 occasions, and then Lesiotis with the covering slide. Slightly cooler conditions. Feels more like an NPL Victoria game. It's facilitating a really fast-paced start here at Lakeside. Little layoff to Uchida. He's brought down under the challenge of Lesiotis. Might run on for an advantage. Tim Danaskos just waiting to see if it accrued for South Melbourne, but he's going to bring it back for the free kick for the trip. Lesiotis just getting caught the wrong side. So an opportunity here for Seb Pasquale to put a ball in the box. Anastasiadis has spoken about South Melbourne's strength on set pieces and throw-ins. So we've got to be prepared not just for the first ball into the box, but to scramble for the second balls that drop as well. Bernardo just waiting in an offside position for the time being. He'll become active later in the piece. Pasquale, good shape on it. Yannikopoulos is in there. Laval went down holding an ankle. Now struck goalwards by Mikkola off his weaker right boot. And Humbert is in the way. Painter Andrews, clean win of the ball. Pasquale. Yannikopoulos trying to control that one. Came at him at a rate of knots. Heidelberg counter-attack breaks down. A breakneck start to this Hellenic derby. Collins in bravely. Lampard sends it long and up the line. There are bodies flying forward for South Melbourne, but Laval, well, his touch let him down as the ball dropped over his shoulder. And Heidelberg have a throw. It gives us the chance to go down to the sideline and check in with David Bashir. Bash, this has been a frenetic start to this derby.
It certainly has, Josh, and I think played pretty well on Heidelberg's terms. They want it expansive, they want it quick, and we'll just pause for a sec to see how this matures for South.
It's Uchida, and it whistles past the post. Oh, Bash, we've hardly had a chance to pause for breath.
Fear has matched by the performances so far early on. We saw that unsuccessful challenge by Sinisa Kohadzic for South Melbourne. I reckon Johnny A could have had a shout at the other end too. Chances at both ends and a really entertaining match early doors.
Thanks, Bash. Pasquale and Collins in the wrestling match. Free kick South Melbourne. I think considering the respective positions of these two sides on the table in the regular season, obviously South are a different team now, but they'll be pretty happy with this start, Sage.
Very happy, very happy. You can see the emphasis already on set plays. Could be very decisive in this match. Some close corners already. South Melbourne looking to set up every free kick, every long throw, seeing what sort of chaos they can cause in the box.
It's the less time you give Heidelberg on the ball, the less chance you give them to create those flowing moves that we've associated with them all year.
Yeah, I think the stop-start sort of game will definitely suit South Melbourne. It will stop Heidelberg from getting into a rhythm. So whenever South Melbourne can put a pause to the game, I think they'll look to do that. We can already see Heidelberg with their front 4 players trying to put a real high press on South Melbourne, and South is trying to play their strikers a bit more direct and hopefully get something one-on-one, the striker and defender, and create something from that.
We've got an extended injury stoppage here for Tom Yiannakopoulos. Here are the Burgers faithful. What a dream year they've had. Looks like Yiannakopoulos will continue, temporarily leaving the field of play. South have a short routine here. Pasquale out to Bernarda. Bernarda creating room for the cross. McGowan got a piece of it. It's going to be a corner. Just requires such relentless focus, doesn't it, when you're facing set piece after set piece. Eventually it can wear you down defensively.
It really is just a battle of concentration. After that, it comes down to a bit of desire. Which player wants it more? Who wants to attack the ball?
This is Mikola. Straight on the goalkeeper. And Yaron Souza does a pull-up on the crossbar after tipping it over. Well, the wind is favouring South Melbourne in this first half. It's reflective of the momentum of the game. Mikola's second chance to deliver. This time he can't find Marshall. It's Uchida to pick up on the far side. Yuki Uchida tries the Cruyff turn. It's a lovely one. The delivery doesn't beat the first man. Hooked away by Humbert. No one up on the halfway line to contest. As the weather takes another turn for the worse here in Melbourne. It's been sunshine and rain every 5 minutes it seems. Mikola. Max Mikola to clip one to the far stick. Lampard on the volley. Laval's in there. And there's half a shout for a corner. Looks like it's just counted off his shins and behind for a goal kick. Oh, Mikola had his eyes up to spot Lampard.
South Melbourne, good little spell here. Bit unlucky there.
Laval has had a good start to life at South Melbourne after the demise of Western United. 3 goals already. Very adept at crashing the 6-yard box and scoring those typical poachers finishes. As his deputy Manny Agwek on the bench is probably more accustomed to the spectacular. So there's Yokikawa on the spin. Juach in the middle. Yokikawa drives it in low for McGowan. Can't meet it ahead of his marker. Theo back into the danger zone. Pasquale takes a beat and tries to find Laval. Heidelberg leaving 2-on-2 at the back.
And that's the danger, isn't it, that I was talking about. Heidelberg on the attack in South when they win it. They look to break nice and quickly and try to hit their strikers early and hopefully get a 1v1 situation.
Heidelberg is going to trust Ben Collins and Lethlean to hold their own. Laval's done well. So did Lampard. That's a great ball. But it's an awkward height for Mikola to control. Juach. Is that a hand from Pasquale? Play waved on. Fulton. Unlucky for Humbert. Straight into his heels. Fulton moving it quickly. Well, it's Lethlean going on an adventure into the final third. And now Yokikawa onto his left, and the deflection took all the sting out of the shot. Pasquale's flicked header. Mikola. Marshalled closely by Dow. It's ferocious Heidelberg pressing that wins back possession. Yankovic back to Lopez between the sticks. Jake Marshall gives it away straight to Dow, and now Duach, who is well defended by Yanakopoulos, seems to have recovered from that knock a few minutes ago. Lesiotis was brought down late, and there's no advantage for Heidelberg. And Yuki Achida is going to get at least a talking to here from Tim Danaskos. No card shown as yet. We've had one FBS challenge card played already, unsuccessfully for South Melbourne. That penalty shout for Ollie Laval. Heidelberg don't want to swing this into the box, they want a short pass. McGowan released. It's Jay McGowan. Still going, McGowan looking for the bottom corner, as he did so brilliantly against Metro Stars, but this time it's straight down the throat of Lopez. You can see the contrasting approaches of the two teams, Siege, and how they set up for that free kick.
Yeah, Heidelberg, they don't want to play the 50-50. They'd rather keep the ball and look to create something a bit closer to goal. That's the way Anastasiadis likes to play.
It's served them well so far this season. Game number 47 of a marathon campaign. Made it all the way to the finals of the Doherty and Australia Cups. All the way to the grand final of NPL Victoria, which they won. Given away by Painter Andrews. Will they make it to the Australian Championship final is the question this afternoon. Dow, Lesiotis. Brilliant defending from Marshall. Dow, cut back to McGowan. Again, it takes a deflection, and again the deflection is kind for Javi Lopez.
Yeah, South Melbourne just getting a bit sloppy playing out of the back. They'd want to be careful not to get too caught out too often.
There's the Heidelberg running man. A feature at Olympic Village. Probably does more kilometres than some of the players. He's always keeping up with the action. Duach. Knocked through. Marshall back to his goalkeeper. Snisha Kohadzic told me yesterday that Jake Marshall had an 8 to 10 week prognosis on his hamstring injury. Worked round the clock with their sports science team to get back early and only missed 4 games, which is quite incredible. What a gift to have him back available for the business end of the Australian Championship.
And it's paid off for him, hasn't it? Gets to play in such a big game here at Lakeside. All that hard work.
Speaks to the character of the 2023 gold medalist in Victoria. That's a brilliant ball over the top. It's Uchida! Into the side netting. Some of the South fans in the main grandstand thought it was in. Oh, one pass from that man, Jake Marshall.
Great first touch here by Uchida. Has a look up, tries to beat the keeper. Unfortunately, always difficult to beat him at the near post from there.
Saw Ollie Laval screaming at him, saying he should have centred the ball. You're a striker, Siege. You would have taken the shot 9 times out of 10.
I would have shot, or if I was Laval, I would have called for the ball to be crossed as well. So both were right.
Fair play all round. It's been a rollicking start to this one. Coney Stallions await the winner of this all-Melbourne matchup. A game with so much history. South Melbourne have the edge in the all-time head-to-head stats, if that means anything. 52 wins to Heidelberg's 40. 58 wins, I should say, in fact. Humbert with the in-swinger onto the head of Lethlean. Well, he scored at this venue in the Australia Cup final to put them ahead. And that one was always drifting wide. Set piece work to perfection, just creating a little bit of separation from the defender.
Yeah, just difficult there. He's moving backwards and he's quite far away from the goal, so he's always going to struggle to score from that sort of distance.
Collins. Header drops to Uchida. Will go at Humbert and beat him. Yuki Uchida. Blocked by Theo. Pasquale put it into the box. It's scrambled away by the Burgers. McGowan. Lesiotis.
I do think Uchida and Laval looking very dangerous at the moment. Every time they get the ball forward to those two players, Laval looking dangerous around the box. Uchida always looking to create something.
A lot of air underneath that cross, and it's beaten Souza. It'll work out well for Heidelberg, despite the best efforts of Max Mikola. Referee just holding up the play to deal with some of the complaints from Yaron Souza. Felt he was held. And he might talk his way into the book here. Just the warning. Humbert. It was a foul from Uchida, but Tim Danaskos waves play on for the advantage, and they don't use it. Yokokawa rather telegraphing the pass for Jay McGowan. Theodoropoulos. Juach can't keep it. Oh, brilliant challenge from Lethlean to dispossess Noel Bernarda. This is Dow. Humbert loves it on his left. He's going to slide it through, looking for Fulton. It's pinball in the penalty area. Chance for Humbert to cross, and it should be Lopez's. It's going to be a foul against Buljuach for going in late on the goalkeeper. Buljuach is 4 goals away from equaling a club record for Heidelberg. Bobby Despotovsky in 1996 netted 34 goals in all competitions. Buljuach is on 30 so far, with 2 games to play potentially if they win today. The difference being, Buljuach has done it in 45 appearances, Bobby Despotovsky in just 28.
He was a great striker, Bobby.
Quickly picked up by Perth Glory after that prolific season in Victoria.
And he had a fantastic career there as well.
It's Heidelberg's first year out of the NSL. What a season Buljuach has had. It's the first player to reach 20 league goals in the Victorian top flight since Liam Boland did it in 2019. Part of a pretty exclusive club as well. Some of the best strikers to applied their trade in this state in the NPL era. Ball was fired straight at Bernardi. He did well to make something of that. Lethlean on his bike. to repel the hot-blooded Argentine. Uchida slides it forward. Oh, it's going to be a goal kick. Well, Lesiotis was very demonstrative in his appeals. Didn't want to have to chase that down. Turns out the referee agrees with him. Looked a bit fortunate from that angle.
He did.
Well, this first 33 minutes has absolutely flown by. Still no goals at Lakeside, but plenty of action in both penalty areas.
It's great to see both teams on the front foot, neither wanting to sit back and hold the 0-0. Both playing slightly differently, but both trying to damage the opposition in one way or another.
There's that challenge again on McGowan from Jankovic. Humbert stretching and controlling brilliantly. Lesiotis. Humbert with the layoff. Just caught McGowan on the hop, rather. Here goes Uchida. Maybe a South Melbourne ball. Much to the dismay of the Heidelberg captain. And now Sinisa Kahadzic is complaining because Tim Danaskos wouldn't allow the taking of a quick throw from the wrong position. It's not something you can review. Into Andrews. Offset up the line. Fulton a quick give and go with Lesiotis. Dow takes over. Nice touch off Yiannakopoulos. Lopez decided to stay at home, and now it's drifted across the box, and Jankovic got a crucial touch. Will Duach was waiting to tuck it home. Oh, South Melbourne so nearly made a meal of that.
Almost a goal from nothing there. First stage I thought Lopez would come out for the ball.
Jankovic, his momentum was going the other way. Needed to get that toe to the ball.
He was a touch fortunate there, but he did well to get his body in the way.
Clarendon corner in full voice. Vocal Heidelberg faithful on our broadcast side. And it's a fantastic atmosphere on semi-final day in the Australian Championship. Humbert. Brought down by Dow. Player who made his name out in WA with Perth Red Star, winning the Golden Boot before coming to Melbourne. Given away by Collins. And now South Melbourne have the numbers. It's 3-on-2. Bernarda, Uchida. He's miscontrolled it. And showed too much of the ball to Ryan Lethlean. Well, Heidelberg were at 6s and 7s for a moment there. Bernarda finds a gap. Uchida again, looks for the cross. Lavar wasn't there in time. Lampard. Pasquale wanted the cut back. Lampard hesitated. He's had a brilliant tournament, the left back. 3 goals. Including a spectacular curler on opening night. Lethlean's done really well there.
Yeah, after giving the ball away, the defenders did really well, just sitting off and holding and waiting for help to arrive. South Melbourne in the end just giving them the ball back.
Theodoropoulos emerges victorious in that duel. Duach, something to chase. Marko Jankovic is clearly fouled from behind, and we'll make sure the referees know about it as well. Jankovic family has been glued to their TV sets or even at the stadiums this afternoon as Marco's younger brother, Luka Jankovic, was part of that Morton City Excelsior side, making it to the semi-finals. They even played against each other twice in the group stage. Theodoropoulos. Wow. Both sides have given the ball away several times in their own back third under the press. Kawa goes out to give Jankovic something to think about. Giannakopoulos dropping back into a 3 and build up. Got all the players up on the attacking line, just waiting for some service. Pasquale trying to pick his way through. Bernardo. It's worked out beautifully to Lampard. Cross in towards Mikola. Left lean again in the way, Bernardo. Uchida. Lampard. Bernardo are always second favourite for that one. Bernardo and Uchida are roaming pretty much wherever they choose. Hard to pick up players who don't seem to have fixed positions. Gives Yokokawa a chance, and he's taken out by Jake Marshall. And that will be the game's first booking. A yellow card shown to the number 5. He's only freshly back from injury as of last week. And he knew he had to take one for the team there.
Yeah, he was very late there. Obvious yellow card. But a good spell of possession here by South Melbourne. Trying to build up the play, getting that final third. Get the ball to the feet of the attacking players rather than to a 50-50.
Well, earlier in the year, you would have pinned South Melbourne as massive underdogs in this matchup. The longer the season's gone on, seems the more South Melbourne have caught up. They're a different side in this competition from the side that drifted into the relegation zone in the first half of the NPL campaign. Yeah,
Kahadzic really changed the way they play. Obviously the personnel has changed as well, which has helped leading into the Australian Championship. And so far in the first half, a really positive performance by South Melbourne. Really matching it with Heidelberg.
Off the ball incident involving Laval and Collins. Lampard picked off easily, and Sinisa Kahadzic holds his head in his hands after that turnover. Miscontrol by Yokokawa. Here's Giannakopoulos a chance to win it.
I think Yokokawa is the one Heidelberg player they would look to get more on the ball, look at creating something for their front three. At the moment, he's been quiet in the first half.
Inviting to shoot Anthony Theodoropoulos, but and it's charged down. There'll be an injury check on Marko Jankovic, who's straight back to his feet. Johnny A has a pretty good record here at Lakeside. He's won 7 out of his 14 visits since the revamp of this facility. Just 4 defeats. Brilliant ball. Drilled into the feet of Yokokawa. Painter Andrew stretching. Mikola back doing his defensive work. Now Bernardo battling for it. And nicking it through for Lampard to run onto. The ball has trickled over the touchline. Val let it run. Mikola has Bernardo in support. Still Max Mikola. He's going to go it alone. And Lopez has to parry. Or Souza, I should say. I felt the goalkeeper might have claimed that. Aaron Souza.
Yeah, I think with the deflection and the speed of the surface as well under today's rain, probably just played it safe. He knew no one was coming on that side of the field, so he had plenty of time and space to parry it away.
Oh, here comes another Rory Delap style long throw special, which is getting more and more common in world football these days. Max Mikola was unable to unveil his party trick during the season as he suffered breaks to both his hands in separate incidents. But he's fit and firing again, and here it comes. Into the edge of the 6-yard box. Fletcher Fulton can only head behind for a corner. I asked Sinisa Kovacic about that secret weapon, or not so secret weapon, yesterday. He says we'd be crazy not to use it with the tall players we have, but they also want to make sure they have variety in their attacking game. Nicola looking for Marshall. Cheetah wriggling free. Second defender arriving. Knocked back to Lampard to cross. Again, it's Fulton who heads away. Coming to the end of regulation in this end-to-end first half. Uchida. There's a flag up on the near side. What's your verdict on this first 45, Siege? Have South Melbourne shaded it?
I think they have in the end, actually. I really like the fluidness of their forward players. Very hard to pinpoint who's playing where, which then makes it difficult for the Heidelberg team to defend against and track and pick up. So very unorthodox in the way they attack, but it's very effective.
2 minutes of stoppage, of which we've already played 30 seconds. I think Heidelberg will be happy enough to get into the sheds and regroup. Still level on the score sheet. They've had chances of their own, of course. Yokikawa forcing that great save out of Lopez. And now Jankovic has a few harsh words for Anthony Theo. Referee Tim Danaskos coming in quickly to play mediator. Looks in some pain here, the South of Melbourne skipper.
Yeah, I think that might have been from the knock previously as well.
Now an apology from Theodoropoulos after the heat at the moment subsides.
And for Heidelberg, I think their strength is always trying to hold possession of the ball, and they've lost that in the last 15-20 minutes of the first half. So I'm sure Johnny A would be looking at getting them back on the ball, getting control of the ball through the defenders in through the midfield, and getting the ball to their attacking plays with some quality.
Last seconds of the first half here. Marshall. Jankovic hacks it skywards. Bernarda. Now left lane to sweep up. Oh, Bernarda's got in first. Mikola around the challenge of Fulton. And he's been cleaned up. And that will be a yellow card for the left back. What do you make of that, Siege? Did Mikola make a meal of it?
I think he made a big meal of that, actually.
Well, the replays will tell the story.
Worth a free kick, but I'm not sure about the yellow card.
Maybe it's the fact that he had space to run in behind. A bit of canny play from Max Mikola. He's not averse to the dark arts.
He's had a very good first half, actually, Mikola. Been dangerous on this right-hand side. I think that's the one thing South Melbourne could look to do in the second half, is probably get more width. A lot of their play has been direct through the middle.
Nicola was sent off in the Doherty Cup semi-final, and last year in the Doherty Cup final, which South Melbourne won with 10 men against Oakley. Flat delivery from Pasquale is headed away. And that spells the end of a rollicking, entertaining first half here at Lakeside. The Greek derby has delivered in every aspect except goals. Yokokawa coming close for Heidelberg. South Melbourne through Jankovic, forcing a great save out of Yaron Souza. But at half-time, it remains South Melbourne 0, Heidelberg United 0.
Welcome back to Lakeside Stadium. It is scoreless between South Melbourne and Heidelberg in the championship semi-final. It's a real throwback to yesteryear, some of the great atmosphere between these two great clubs. Brian McNichol was a Heidelberg legend, an NSL Cup winner in '93. Joins me now. Brian, welcome along.
Thank you.
What does this mean, do you think, to the past players to have a club like Heidelberg and what they've achieved this season to be showcased again on the national stage?
Yeah, that's what we want. You know, I mean, obviously, two Heidelberg and South Melbourne, two big clubs in Australia, foundation clubs. So I'm sure all the supporters, this is what they're after. Yeah,
Absolutely. A word about Johnny Anastasiadis and the way he's kept this squad going through three leagues. Well, a couple of cups and some leagues and so forth. One trophy this season. A bit unlucky in the Australian Cup final. What do you think is the key for him in the second half? It was a pretty tight first half.
Yeah, look, the first half was very open. Two sides going at it. Lots of chances. But for Johnny A, his game plan obviously is very attacking. So hopefully in the second half we'll see some goals from the Burgers.
Good on you, Brian. You look like you could still play too, mate.
I wish. Those days are finished, Bash.
Good on you, Brian.
No, it's great to see two foundation clubs back on the big stage. That's what we really want.
Absolutely, mate. All the best. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you.
Brian McNichol, ladies and gentlemen. Back to you, Josh.
Thanks, Bash. Great to see some legends in the house for this afternoon's action. Let's take a look back at some of the big moments of the first 45, starting with this double chance for Asahi Yoshikawa. First denied brilliantly by Javi Lopez, and then curling one on to the roof of the net. Heidelberg could have been ahead early, Siege.
Yeah, very on. You could see how important set pieces might play in this game.
And a turnover in the final third. Pasquale letting fly, left lean in the way. We saw plenty of this sort of pattern of play in the first half, with the high press forcing mistakes and scrambling moments at the back. And then here is the controversial moment of the first 45. Seconds after a Heidelberg appeal at the other end for a penalty, Siniša Kohadzic decides to play his first football video support system challenge card for this one on Ollie Laval. Do you think the right decision was made?
I think it was. I think it's a very difficult one to overturn that from the original decision.
Well, a bit of wrestling going on at the back stick, but not enough for Tim Danaskos to reverse his original call. And South Melbourne up in arms after their review system challenge is denied. Let's have a look at some of the first half stats, and it's pretty even on the sheet here. South Melbourne leading 9 shots to 8, 4 on target each, corner count almost even. But it doesn't tell the full story, because it felt to us, Siege, that South Melbourne seemed to have the upper hand in terms of territory and momentum.
I think going forward at the moment, the South Melbourne attackers definitely look more dangerous. Every time they get involved, get the ball to their feet, they look like they're creating something in front of the goal.
Well, earlier this afternoon, it was Marconi who sealed their spot in the Australian Championship final with a 1-0 win over Moreton City. Adrian Arciuli caught up with Marko Jesic.
Well, I'm here with the Marconi Stallions captain, Marko Jesic. He's been at the club for a decade, one of the long-serving members of this club. How does it feel, mate? Australian Championship finalist.
Yeah, it's good. It's something that we've been talking for a long time. When I first came to the club, they were an NPL2, and seeing this club with the history that it's got to be where they were at the time when I came, something that I wanted to change. And obviously, look, it's taken a bit of time, but obviously this new tournament that's come in, the championship, has given us an opportunity to showcase what we're all about. And I knew that we could make the final, and obviously tough conditions today, and we got there at the end of the day, and obviously we're just one step closer from putting our hands on the trophy now.
Just talk us as well. You go back to that last game of the group stage. You're a whisker away from losing 6-0. You get through, you knew what you needed to do, but it didn't really matter. You did the work beforehand. You go to Apia, beat them on penalties. Today, fight, get the goal. Talk us about the resilience within this squad.
Look, we showed character, we showed heart last week, and I've been telling the boys for a while, it's all a mental game. You prepare yourself right, no matter the conditions, no matter what comes at you, mentally if you're strong, our football will take care of the rest. And as showed last week, obviously the defeat the week before, we're close to being knocked out, but again last week showed what we're all about against a tough opponent who were tipped to win it. And we've played in 5 times this year, and obviously it's a mixed result, winning or losing, but we showed what we're all about. And today again, tough conditions, both sides had to play, but again, I think at the end of the day, we wanted a little bit more. Obviously we had our home fans backing us, and we just show what we're all about, and obviously we're where we need to be in the final of the Australian Championship.
Well, the first finalist has been decided. Now Marconi away. Who will they face? South or Heidelberg? It's going to be very interesting to watch.
is on the way. We're going to take another short break. Do not go anywhere. It's the Australian Championship semi-finals, live and free on SBS. Kick-off for the second half is moments away. Tensions running high on the pitch and on the touchlines. Heidelberg United and South Melbourne still scoreless after 45 intensely fought minutes. And this is the Heidelberg GM, Chris Pavlidis, getting a shave down to conclude his Movember efforts. Remember, you can head to australianchampionship.com.au and donate. There is still time to contribute to changing the face of men's health. Well, David Bashir is catching up with a South Melbourne legend now. He's with Alan Davidson.
Thank you, Josh. Yes, Socceroo captain number 32, Alan Davidson, South Melbourne legend, 84 championship winner. Davo, what about this atmosphere and the occasion for both clubs, really?
It's been fantastic. It's bringing back a lot of memories back in the old NSL days, you know. So there's always been a rivalry between South Melbourne and Heidelberg, and it's still the same as it is today. And it's been a great game. Both teams evenly matched. I think South Melbourne could have maybe gone ahead, but you know, it's evenly matched, and it's a great game.
And we saw Heidelberg in the Cups against some great A-League opposition, knocking out 4. What about their standard and you know, the standard of the top NBL clubs when you compare them to the A-League?
Well, for me, Jesus, you know, like this game today, you know, I watch A-League games for the match review panel, and sometimes, and I believe this is just as good as an A-League game. You know what I mean? It's fast, the quality's there, obviously the rivalry between the two clubs, so there's a lot of fierceness in it, and the quality's not bad. I'm really impressed with it. I'm actually a bit shocked, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been really good, Dave. Thanks for your thoughts with Brian McNichol. It's like the old days, isn't it, having you two down here?
Oh, it is like the old days, back in the old days with SBS and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, let's hope we can sort of build on it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the second half, mate.
No worries, thank you.
Back to you, Josh.
Thanks, Bash. David Bashir there with Alan Davidson. Well, talk about bringing back memories. Well, the players out there are creating new ones. South Melbourne and Heidelberg back on the national stage, under the spotlight, live on SBS. And we are away for the second half. Josh Parrish here alongside Michael Kasija in commentary. And Heidelberg looking to start with a bang. This is Lesiotis finding Marcus Humbert. Theodoropoulos. Theodoropoulos lets fly. Never seemed convinced himself that he was going to score. He's a player who barely saw the pitch in the first half of the year, with Jamal Ali playing that right back role, but after Jamal Ali's departure from the club, he's been called upon in some of the biggest games.
Good start by Heidelberg there. They'd really look at doing more of that in the second half, getting on the ball, playing through the thirds, and finishing with a strike on goals.
What do you think Johnny A would have been saying to his team at half-time after they were perhaps under the more pressure of the two sides?
You would have told them to calm down, get your feet on the ball, don't be scared to play, keep doing what we're good at, what's got us to this level, because that's what's going to win in the game in the end as well.
This is Benada for South Melbourne. Out to Max Mikola. Skips past Dow, taking on Fulton, but no way through. He's not actually a left back, Fletcher Fulton. Joined as a winger and has been converted to that spot because South Melbourne simply didn't have any adequate options in that position. He's taken to it like a duck to water. He's been crowned the outstanding NPL participant in the Australia Cup, winning the Mike Cockrell medal in an unfamiliar role. This is Mikola off the long runner. Anacopoulos was in there. Collins heading only as far as Uchida. There's two for company, Yuki Uchida, and gave himself too much to do around the outside.
South will be hoping Uchida keeps his form going from the first half. For me, he was the standout player on the park.
He's been very lively since joining the club in the transfer window between NPL and championship seasons. South Melbourne signed 7 players in that window to restock. Four of them are starting today. Six of the 7 in the squad. Kota Kador is out due to international duty with Lebanon. He's playing at the Arab Cup. Another long throw for Mikola. Another aerial barrage for Heidelberg to contend with. Oh, it's Yanakopoulos. And it's over. He threw himself at it. Couldn't get over the top of the ball.
And that's the danger with the long throws. It makes the keeper wonder, should I come, should I sit? He just stayed on his line there, and dangerous position there.
Seems as if Jankovic almost put Yanakopoulos off with the leap in front of him. Didn't have a view of the ball for a moment. Only a short turnaround for South Melbourne if they get to an Australian Championship final. They're going to have a couple of weeks off before they gear up for their OFC Pro League debut. South Melbourne back in Oceania.
It's just comp after comp, isn't it?
It's relentless. Here's Marshall. Left lean. Laval. Dow lost his footing. Mikkola will go for goal and sends it high and over the crossbar, prompting the Bronx cheer from the Heidelberg fans.
Yeah, definitely worth an effort there.
Just seems as if Max Mikkola might play a decisive role this afternoon, one way or another.
Yeah, he's looked dangerous up the right-hand side, coming in on his favoured left foot.
Scored a brilliant goal doing just that last week. Chop inside, leaving his defender quite literally clawing at the turf. Painter Andrews, on for Mikkola. South burst through in numbers. It's Bernarda finding Lampard on the far side. Lampard with the cross, Uchida! Couldn't keep the header down, and it wouldn't have counted anyway. Flag up for offside from the looks of things.
Great move there by South Melbourne, from the right all the way to the left. Great little dink to the far post.
It was a flowing move indeed. It could be on again here. Collins losing out to Bernardo. Lampard providing the width down the left. Pasquale. Have to switch the point of attack now. Yanakopoulos inviting the pressure from Yokokawa. Marshall had to stretch. Jankovic, Lampard. Theodoropoulos couldn't head clear. Here goes Bernarda. And it's a comfortable claim for Souza. Yokokawa trying to spin his man. Was he brought down by Yanakopoulos there? Tim Danaskos reaches for his yellow card.
Yeah, I think the South Melbourne defender knew he overcommitted there and had no other option rather than bring him down.
It's the second yellow card that Asahi Yokokawa has drawn. Firstly, too quick for Jake Marshall in the first half, and now Tom Yanakopoulos in the second. Free kick will be left to left lean. Jankovic. Pasquale heads only as far as Lesiotis. Theodoropoulos dribbling into a cul-de-sac. Pasquale vaults one of the challenges and is able to spread the play to Mikkola. Has it taken off his toe by Choctaw. Temperature just starting to drop here in Albert Park. Yet to see a decisive breakthrough.
Heidelberg really struggling to get their forward players involved in the game here. McGowan and Dow their wingers really quiet today at the moment.
Choctaw and Jay McGowan were really their bench options, their backup players in those spots during the NPL campaign. It was Sabit Nyor, who's got his A-League chance now with the Central Coast Mariners after his loan deal expired. And Max Bassetto, who is a non-participating spectator on the bench today after injuring his shoulder while swimming. So no more freestyle for Max Bassetto. Unfortunately, sad way for his season to come to an end after scoring in a grand final.
I thought swimming was supposed to rehab the shoulder.
So did I. Here goes Mikola. South Melbourne fans expecting the long launch, and City goes short. It's the bait and switch from Mikola, and he loses out. Not enough of the ball though to please the referee. Lampard might drop here for Laval. Awkward one for Souza, and he gathers at the second attempt. As you can see here, picture in picture, Yaron Souza had to juggle that one. South Melbourne on the attack again. Laval. A wriggle free of two Heidelberg defenders. South Melbourne will have to settle for a throw. Cheetah. Lampard. Pasquale. Faced with the demands of this unprecedented long season, South Melbourne have turned to an A-League side for a couple of their recruits. Sinisa Kohadzic pointing out that Seb Pasquale and Oli Laval were just in pre-season and are raring to go, as opposed to the NPL players who've had so many matches under their belts. Whereas Johnny A says, take us as a case study. More games are a good thing. We've been arguing for more football in this country for a long time, and now we're finally seeing an opportunity for younger players to break through. Chance for players to have almost year-round football. Thinks it can only be a good thing for development. It's also a case of managing the injury load as well. Long ball in behind for Uchida to chase. Souza well off his line. And Uchida coming back for an offside position, which gives us a chance to look at the poll. 60% of our viewers think South Melbourne are going to win this one. You can vote now via the QR code on screen or head to australianchampionship.com.au to have your say. Kakawa. And it's been blown up by the referee for a South Melbourne free kick. Foul on Pasquale.
I think going back to the length of the season and the addition of the Australian Championship, I think we can all agree that it's a great addition to the football calendar in the country. Something that's long been needed.
Just see there with the challenge from McGowan. Pasquale got on the scene first. Oh, Jake Marshall. It's a bit of bother there. Played enough of the ball and turned around to to make that point to the referee, almost preempting a second yellow card. He's got to walk the tightrope at the moment. Heidelberg trying to find a gap in this South Melbourne back line. It's Lesiotis. Humbert returns the ball to Lesiotis. And clips it into the path of Jay McGowan. McGowan delivers it low. Theodoropoulos. Brilliantly blocked by Jankovic. Heidelberg encircling the South Melbourne penalty area.
Yeah, good attacking play there by Heidelberg. Exactly what you want from your centre-back. Be desperate in the box, get the ball out, whatever it takes.
Here's Humbert to deliver. Into the 6-yard box. Marshall away. Lesiotis to strike. Well, he hit it cleanly and sweetly. Has scored from that sort of range in this competition away at Wollongong Wolves. You can see from his reaction how disappointed he was that the shot was blocked, because it may have been flying in.
I think he thought it was going in the corner. You generally know once you've hit it off your boot where it's going.
Oh, they've done brilliantly here, Heidelberg. Fulton, a heavy touch. After such good work from Asahi Yokokawa, you were calling on him to get more of the ball. And he's been pretty active so far in this second half.
Yeah, they just put 2 or 3 good moves here together, Heidelberg, getting themselves more and more into the game.
Laval. Headed into touch. And out South Melbourne on the ropes all of a sudden. Just such a good first half. Heidelberg starting to have their own way in this game. Peter Andrews. Andrews lost out to Dow, and now Juach. Lays it off Yokokawa. Javi Lopez seemed to have that covered, but it took a touch on the way through. Heidelberg corner. Asahi Yokokawa did score a brilliant goal against South Melbourne in the Doherty Cup final from that sort of range. It was a daisy cutter into the corner. Humbert looking for Lethlean. A glorious chance for Heidelberg. At the same end where he netted the opener in the Australia Cup final, Ryan Lethlean goes oh so close.
Really great in-swing corner. Lethlean definitely should have done better there. At least hit the target from the 6-yard box.
Just didn't connect with it properly. Almost came off the wrong side of his head.
He just didn't time it. Didn't time it properly there.
This is Yokokawa. Yokokawa infield for Fulton. South Melbourne fans feel the throw should have been theirs.
I must say the delivery from set pieces has been fantastic from both teams today. Really good quality balls into the box.
Yokokawa shielding the ball brilliantly. On the spin, he goes to ground. And it's a penalty. Tim Danaskos had a long look at that one. But eventually he points to the spot. Plenty of words being exchanged. Sam Poutakidis is delivering the appeal card to the 4th official. And we will have a check. Or will we? Now, South Melbourne are going to use their last review for this one. Tim Danaskos running to the tents.
It did seem he went down a little bit easy, but I suppose we'll find out from the replay.
Big decision here for the referee. If the review is unsuccessful, South Melbourne will have no challenges remaining. There's a little ruffle of the shirt there. Oh, and he's got his hand on his shirt, Yiannakopoulos. He's pulled him back. I think that little bit of contact there is going to be incriminating for Tom Yiannakopoulos.
It's a really small tug of the shirt, isn't it?
Yeah. But letter of the law, any tug of the shirt is a foul. Of course, it's up to the referee. If he thinks Yokokawa has made a meal of it, he can overturn.
I think he had the defender beaten, so I think he will go with a penalty.
And so it proves. Challenge unsuccessful. Bull Juach, who opened the scoring in the NPL Victoria Grand Final at this venue from that very penalty spot, has a chance to put Heidelberg in the lead. In this Australian Championship semi-final, the stakes could not be higher. Lopez, the three-time goalkeeper of the year in Victoria, stands in his way. He is usually lethal from 12 yards. Here he goes, the Raging Bull. Saved! Lopez with a brilliant stop. South Melbourne stay level thanks to their veteran goalkeeper. And Victoria's leading marksman is denied. What a stop.
Great save, great save. I think it was right at the good height for the keeper. It was neither low nor high, but nevertheless, great save by Lopez.
Bull Juach missing his golden ticket. Humbert's corner. Collins attacking it. Marshall got there first. What drama at Lakeside. The Clarendon corner is absolutely rocking. Here's the save. And it's absolutely brilliant by Lopez, who read it like an open book. Oh, the South supporters breathe a sigh of relief. Let's check in with David Bashir. Bash, what drama?
Oh, Josh, the Clarendon end went up. Magnificent save, Harvey Lopez. That was just superb.
Here's a chance for a cheetah! Oh, that was centimetres away from a tap-in. I'll go back down to you again, Bash. I can hardly pause for breath here. Chances at both ends.
Absolutely, but what about that save? Harvey Lopez almost knew the direction Bull Juach was going with the penalty. I agree with Michael Gosija. It wasn't the best spot kick, but this atmosphere and the standard, the intensity, the crowd, it's just got everything in the semi-final. Brilliant.
Thank you, David Bashir. Ollie Laval. A desperate effort to make contact. Crashed into the post. Now it opens up for Heidelberg all of a sudden. Which way this goes now is anyone's guess. McGowan. But with the back heel, it was ill-advised. Here goes Laval. Bernarda's free on the far side. Collins was nerveless. McGowan. Theodoropoulos brought down late. Advantage paid. Still Jay McGowan! Inches away. The Heidelberg supporters were ready to erupt.
Great run there by McGowan. Skips inside, shoots on the left foot. Very, very unlucky.
It was a good advantage paid by the referee as well. You can still see in the reverse shot there, he still had his arm aloft to let play continue.
Heidelberg definitely got the ascendancy in the second half. Really looking to put the pressure on after that missed penalty.
Buljuach has not been involved in the game too much. Most of the chances have fallen to the attacking players around him. I don't know if you took pens, Siege. How easy is it to pick yourself up after you miss one?
I took everything, pens, free kicks,
Yeah.
Any chance to score. I think Juach is experienced enough. We all miss penalties in our day, but you let it go. Everyone misses chances, so you move on to the next one and hopefully put that in the back of the net for your team.
Cheetah is going to leave this for who else but the number 22. Changes afoot. Buljuach, well, he's not going to have time to pick himself back up. He's replaced. Angus Taylor and Kieran Bramwell are on, and Jay McGowan, who missed that chance a few moments ago by a hair's breadth, is going to the bench as well. So Heidelberg unveiling their reinforcements and 2 quality players to bring off the pint. 2 of their new signings in the window as well. South Melbourne are thinking about making the change. It's going to be a straight swap. Ollie Laval off. Manny Agwek on up top. Keep an eye out for him on his day. There's no bigger show in town than Manny Agwek. Scored from nearly the halfway line here against Moreton City in the group stage.
What a great goal that was.
South Melbourne Junior as well. Long throw launched. Oh, it's Agwek! Oh, he scored with his first touch! Would you believe it? Manny Agwek is made for the big occasion. What a substitution from Sinisa Kohadzic, and what an impact. Now the referees will confer as to a possible offside. I think that's come off a Heidelberg head.
Yeah, it's come off the centre-back's head there. Agwek floating in on the back post.
Well, he's ghosted in after that late substitution just before the throw. The goal is given and South Melbourne lead at home.
All the Heidelberg defenders there just getting drawn into the long throw, trying to take the ball. No one picking up on the back post.
Heidelberg are thinking about a challenge. It's not going to be for offside, maybe a foul in the penalty area.
Didn't look like it.
Still they confer in the FES tents. Tim Danaskos just holding kick-off for a moment. Heidelberg realising there's really nothing to challenge. And we're away. Manny Agwek sneaking in at the back stick. We're used to seeing him score from long range. He scored from point-blank range there.
Real striker's goal there, just sneaking in on the far post. Everyone else ball watching. Good strikers trying to get themselves into a good position where they can finish.
Now, South Melbourne sort of destabilised the Heidelberg marking there by making the change so late just before the delivery comes in. He's just raced from the touchline into the box. No one's picked him up.
You could almost say it was a tactic.
If South have intended that way, it's a very clever one.
We mentioned before about set pieces being all about concentration, and sometimes the substitution or an injury like that can just throw things out of whack.
And here is the stop from Lopez again, denying Bourgeois from 12 yards. And you can see how early he makes his decision.
Yeah, great leap. The ball's going right into the corner, even though it was at a good height for the keeper. Nevertheless, great save, great with the left hand.
After a nightmare start to the NBL season, the good times are back at Lakeside. South Melbourne living up to their billing as a foundation club, a championship heavyweight. And here's the goal from Agwek. The long launch from Mikola, as we're so accustomed to seeing. Fletcher Fulton couldn't clear. Manny Agwek unmarked. And it seemed written in the stars for South Melbourne's number 10. Both players back on the pitch now, Lampard and Lesiotis, after that collision. Mikola could be in. Agwek arriving late. Mikola goes for goal. Well fielded by Souza. That ball holds up in the wind. Lesiotis. Down. Yokikawa. It's a free kick. He's not going to get one. Lesiotis. Yokikawa. Humberts. Marcus Humberts. Denied by Lopez again. And he gathers the loose ball as Angus Taylor can't send it goalwards. A big opening for the left foot of Marcus Humbert. He's in fine goal-scoring nick. And again, Javi Lopez reads it all the way.
Great movement, Humbert. Really good strike there as well, trying to curl it into the far post. Lopez right on the spot though.
Had a few injury issues earlier in the season. Didn't seem quite himself, the Spaniard. It was Yaron Souza who was crowned goalkeeper of the year, finally taking that award off him after 3 consecutive gongs for Javi Lopez, but the biggest game of their season.
He's doing it when it counts.
Absolutely. "34 years young." It's pretty youthful in goalkeeper terms.
He's got plenty of years left in him.
Absolutely. What an impact he's made since joining from the Bentley Greens. 2 saves in the 2024 Doherty Cup final to win the penalty shootout. Let's check in on the sideline with David Bashir. Bash, a bit of controversy about that goal, or question marks, but end up being paid for Manny Agwek. And what a tactic from Sinisa Kahadzic, bringing his substitute on in the nick of time.
Absolutely, Josh. First touch, goal, back post. It's pretty simple, isn't it? And what about that previous Lampard and he collected Lesiotis. Lesiotis has made some really tough stuff in the middle of the park for Heidelberg. It's physical at the moment, and I'm not sure the elastic band can be stretched anymore for the Burgers. They've got the quality to get back into the contest, but South will want to keep it physical, want to keep it tight, and just ask some questions mentally of the Burgers, you know, in the remaining minutes. But it's just been an enthralling semi-final, this one.
Changes afoot for Heidelberg. Theodoropoulos limps off on the near side. On comes Mo Aidara. So Fletcher Fulton will go to right back. Marcus Humbert will drop from central midfield into the left back role that he's played on occasion since joining the Burgers. Bernarda for Agwek. No way through for the substitute. South Melbourne corner. Well, has this Burgers train finally been derailed? He's taken a penalty save. An instant impact off the bench to flip the script in this game, but Heidelberg, as things stand, will miss their first game of the year. Mikola's in swinger to make it 2. Uchida tries the spectacular. Well, from the edge of the box, that was ambitious. Set for a grandstand finish with 10 minutes to play. Agwek would be offside, can't intervene here.
Still plenty of time left here for Heidelberg, no need to panic.
We'll have a fair chunk of stoppage time at the end of this game as well with the reviews. Fulton. Oh, Fletcher Fulton still going. What a run this is. It's into a brick wall in the form of Lampard. Hidara takes up the cudgels. Squally. Oh, Jankovic thought the throw was theirs. Heidelberg get it back underway. Big collisions left, right and centre. Lesiotis centering ball for Dow. Yokokawa building up nicely here. Taylor. Saves sharply to his left, Lopez. Now Aidara. It's going to be a South Melbourne ball. Well, a couple of openings. The substitute Angus Taylor, who already has 2 goals for his new side. Golden Boot winner in Tasmania, scored 25. One too close to the goalkeeper.
Decent effort, just need to find a bit more of a curl to the far post there. Heidelberg finding a bit of space with the ball on the edge of the box. South Melbourne dropping off a little bit deep.
Taylor, it's a fine ball to find Bramwell. Oh, he's pulled up short. It's a head scratcher from Kieran Bramwell.
I think you're thinking one step ahead there. Concentration should have been on controlling the ball first, whereas he was looking more in the middle to see what's next.
Just got his footing all wrong. Ended up stabbing the ball over the byline. Want to see that one back, Kieran Bramwell. Over the top, and it's fallen kindly nearly for Mikola. Humbert clears the lines. Little back heel from Yanakopoulos. Jankovic. Bounce pass from Bernarda is on point. Lampard whips it in. It's awkward for all the defenders. Uchida. Oh, he's beaten Taylor, all ends up. Brilliant run from Uchida. Back heel from Mikola. And he can't find his teammate.
Great bit of skill there by Cheetah, out near the corner flag.
There it is again. It's Angus Taylor in the spin cycle. Oh, left lean, beaten to the ball by Mikola. Lovely disguise pass, Agwek! Saved by Souza, and it keeps Heidelberg alive. Huge chance for Manny Agwek to make it 2. So selfless from Max Mikkola.
Great composure there by Mikkola. Many players would have just blasted away, but he did the right option and just slipped Agwek in, and he should have scored. Should have buried the game right there.
Well, there's been that many chances in this game that I think just about every player in the attacking third will have ifs, buts and maybes about what might have been.
It's been that sort of game, hasn't it?
So open.
Both teams have been really at it from the first minute.
Here's the chance again. Mikkola, beautifully disguised pass. And Agwek just puts it straight at the goalkeeper. Now he's gone to ground. There's a flag up on the far side for a free kick. The assistant referee is quick on that one. Mikkola trying to eat up a few precious seconds. The referee had not whistled for play to resume, so there's no way he was letting that go. Heidelberg getting that sinking feeling against South Melbourne in a knockout game again. South were the last team to beat them at Olympic Village in the Doherty Cup playoff game in 2024. Of course, that Victorian Cup final. Now it will be a chance for Bilal Habib to replace Noel Bernardo. His involvement was delayed due to international duty with Somalia. Came on to great effect against Sydney Olympic at Kogarah, scoring the winning goal in stoppage time. Dow, Fulton, oh, it's just wrong-footed Fletcher Fulton. Zipped into him at a rate of knots, and
yeah, I think Fulton there should have just hung back and received it to feet, rather than looking at getting in behind. He was a bit close to the goals there, so a ball to feet would have been the better option there.
Minutes played. Aidara. Mohamed Aidara, the veteran, puts the head down and just took a loose touch. She left him second favourite for that one. Came off after just 7 minutes last week as a substitute himself against Metro Stars with a head knock. Cleared to play today. Johnny A talks about the way the 35-year-old looks after himself. He's a tough customer. Experience at Bundesliga and Ligue 1 clubs earlier in his career. They need their wise old heads out there now as they manage a really high-pressure situation. Here's the Burgers bubble about to burst. Lampard will buy a throw. Quickly taken for Habib. Habib sidesteps Collins and draws the free kick.
Good for South Melbourne, just eat up a bit more time. A minute here, a minute there.
See Ben Collins arguing that Habib had sold that one pretty hard. There is contact.
Definite free kick.
penalty for Buljuach looms large as the turning point in this game. Only Agwek with the only goal so far. Pasquale over the free kick. It's a high one to the back post. Souza opts for the punch. Taylor scrambles away out of the box. To Andrews with the long launch forward. Souza attracted in the swirling breeze. Bramwell. In fact, it's Taylor. Aidara. Aidara to the byline. Choctow's waiting at the back stick. A shout for a penalty for handball, and Lesiotis volleys over. Yaron Souza's out to the halfway line, yelling at his bench. He wants the appeal card to be played for what would be a second Heidelberg spot kick. Well, they may as well.
Nothing to lose. The players seem adamant that it's a free kick there, or penalty I should say.
Danaskos goes over for his third check of the afternoon. Was it a handball against Uchida? I think it comes off his head.
Yeah, definite head there.
If it bounces up onto the arm, referees are usually instructed not to give it if it comes off a different part of the body first. And I'm not sure it even hits the arm in the end. Yeah, just back of the head. The arm was in an incriminating position, but it doesn't actually make contact. This is going to be an unsuccessful review for the Burgers. No penalty.
Heidelberg, they just be hoping for one more opening, one more chance. See if they can equalise here.
Heidelberg have one challenge left. South Melbourne have none. Pasquale, left lean. Helped on by Agwek. Mikola went to ground. Angus Taylor trying to make some headway down the left. To me, that's Jack Pope who's stripped off and ready to go on the bench for South Melbourne. Humbert. It's been an almighty effort from these South players. They've played with such intensity. Look at Uchida go. Got 6 minutes of stoppage time, which we've played 90 seconds or so. Uchida on the spin. Still so lively, still full of running. It's forced out towards the corner flag by Lesiotis, who wants the ball back as soon as possible. And a few spot fires erupting late in this semi-final. Souza playing with fire here. It's out of danger. Well done from the Heidelberg vice-captain. Neatly done by Humbert in a tight spot as well. Fulton launches the long diagonal. Left leans up there as an emergency striker. A challenge from Habib ruled a foul on Fulton. And now Yaron Souza is going to join the attack. Well, with 3 minutes still left to play, they're sending up the goalkeeper. It's the Kinch and Sink approach from Heidelberg.
Got nothing to lose from here.
South Melbourne making a change. Max Mikola gets a rousing reception. Another assist for him with the long throw today.
really good, busy performance by Mikla today, I think.
I believe that's Charlie Leach who's come on for him. Humbert hangs it up high. Nothing doing, and it's an unguarded net if South Melbourne can get down the other end. Souza scrambling back. Pasquale launches it upfield. Souza's not back in his goal yet. Agwek wrestling with Fulton, who came out on top. Heidelberg have to go quickly now. Time not on their side. Dow. It's Chock Dow for Humbert. Hacked clear by Pasquale. Oh, and it's a poor pass from Agwek. And it's given straight to Bilal Habib. And now Agwek playing in Uchida. He'll take it towards the corner. Try and eat up some precious seconds. And Collins winning it back. A win going against Heidelberg in this second half. We've had a change in the elements. It's probably suited South. Habib. Pasquale. Deflected and back with Souza. 1 minute to play. And then we're at the mercy of the referee. I believe it was the great Greg Blake who dubbed Heidelberg under George Katsakis the cardiac kids for their late comebacks. They need to channel some of that energy now. They need a bit of a miracle.
They're trying everything they are. South Melbourne very resolute in their defending.
They're not going to be left wondering. Johnny A wants more added time. Sinisa Kohadzic is baying for the final whistle. To Lesiotis, not much room on the touchline, trying to keep it in play. It's going to break for South Melbourne. Leach goes to ground, South Melbourne free kick, and that might just do it for South. They've soaked up wave after wave of Heidelberg pressure. And they are there. South Melbourne are into the Australian Championship final at the first time of asking. The good times are back at Lakeside. A solitary goal from the substitute Manny Agwek with his first touch of the football off the bench. A magnificent penalty save from their goalkeeper Javi Lopez. And all the South Melbourne players go to the Spaniard to congratulate him. The match turned on that save. All the reaction and analysis coming back on the other side of this break. South Melbourne 1, Heidelberg United 0. Full time at Lakeside, and South Melbourne are into the Australian Championship final thanks to a goal from Manny Agwek. A magnificent effort to finally slow down the Heidelberg juggernaut that has dominated all season. David Bashir is on the touchline with the winning coach, Sinisa Kohadzic.
Thanks, Josh. Sinisa, what about that for a semi-final, the intensity, just everything about the match? It was just an incredible spectacle.
Incredible. First half, we couldn't affect our game with our press because we were not positioning ourselves well, and we turned over the ball a lot of times, and that cost us, so we couldn't set ourselves up for the press. Second half, it's all about moments, yeah? It's all about moments, and we got players like that can come, I call them finishers. Obviously picked the right moment to put him on, and we said to wait for that throw-in and to get him on. And sometimes coach's job, you become a genius, but sometimes these players are the ones that deserve the accolades, and Manny's one of them. He's patiently been a team player, and to finish off the game for us like that, it's tremendous.
And what about Javi Lopez from the spot, saving Buljuac's, and then the follow-up save on Humbert? It was just an amazing second half by him.
Yeah, not enough words for that person. Not enough words, not just as a football player and what he does, but as a character. And that's what really brings us over the line.
But Sinisa, just a moment to reflect on what you've done with the club. You were relegation threatened when you came. You've won a Doherty Cup, now you're into an Australian Championship final. It's been a stunning turnaround.
Yeah, it's belief, it's passion, it's hard work, and rewards are there.
Congratulations, mate. All the best for the final.
Thank you, David.
Sinisa Kohadzic is a very happy man as well, he might be. A magnificent turnaround under his tutelage. But let's hear from the man of the moment. David Bashir is with none other than Manny Agwek.
Well, Manny, you've scored a spectacular goal here, and your first touch today, back post header, and you put South Melbourne into a final. How do you feel?
It's an amazing feeling, just coming on. Obviously, I didn't expect it to drop, but as a striker, that instinct got in the right area. I saw the moment, and I just took it.
Were you itching to get on in the second half?
Yeah, as soon as the penalty happened, I was like, oh, no way here. So big credit to Harvey, who kept us in the game. And then I knew when it was time for me to come on, I just wanted to make a straight impact, and it happened to be my first touch, so it's good.
And you've given the club a chance to create history. The last championship you lifted was Ange Postecoglou's second in 1999, so it was probably before you were born, actually. How do you feel about that type of impact with this club?
It's massive. Obviously, I started my junior here, and then obviously coming here, I felt the right option and the right time. And now to be in the final and to be the one to score that goal means a lot. So I'll be looking forward to the grand final.
And Manny, what about the fresh players? 7 new faces in this team for the championship. You've really injected some enthusiasm and belief and passion.
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, the players that came in, all quality. So just to gel together and just keep fighting every week in. And also big credit to the coach. So at the end of the day, it's a big playing group. Everyone's getting a chance, so it's good. We're enjoying it every game, so we'll take that.
Good on you, Manny. The neutrals love to see you, and especially the South Melbourne fans.
Yeah,
well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Good on you.
Manny Agwek is the toast of Clarendon Street tonight. What an impact, what a moment for a big game player. But on the other side of the ledger was Heidelberg United coach John Anastasiadis, who's catching up with David Bashir.
That must be a bitter pill to swallow after everything that's happened this season.
Yeah, it is. Look, today didn't go away. That's football. I'm very proud of the boys. They've had a fantastic year, and we should be in the final. We're not, but we'll look at it and see why. But look, I think we deserve to get a better result today, but it didn't happen. So move on.
You had a chance. Buljuac from the spot. Obviously, the South keeper's done so well.
Yeah, look, and credit to him. That's his job. He did extremely well. Saved a great penalty. Saved some other good saves too. Yeah, look, it was a very even game, I thought, from both teams, but it didn't really deserve a winner. But that's football; someone had to lose.
Okay, all things being said, it's been an outstanding season. 48 matches, what you've done throughout 4 competitions. You must be proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the boys, and we've done this on our own, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And it's this one will be hard to take, but that's football.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys.
Commiserations to Heidelberg and John Anastasiadis. It looked like they were going ahead after Asahi Yokikawa earned this spot kick, which was reviewed by South Melbourne unsuccessfully so. But Siege, Javi Lopez, just unbeatable today.
No, and really that was the difference. Comes to this penalty, and well, it was about the 70th minute, wasn't it? And the South Melbourne keeper really stood up with a great save.
The decision upheld, as you see there. Here comes the stop against Victoria's leading marksman, no less, who scored 30 goals in all competitions this season. But he couldn't beat Lopez from 12 yards. That's what it meant to the South Melbourne supporters, who knew it might just be their day. Jane McGowan had his sights set on goal here. Heidelberg had a lot of these nearly moments in the final third, just wouldn't break their way.
No, second half, Heidelberg were definitely on top, and they had some near misses like this, and obviously the penalty miss as well.
And here comes the goal. Max Mikkela's long launch, and Manny Agwek, who just raced onto the pitch a moment earlier. They almost didn't get the substitution done in time before the throw-in, but the script was written for Manny Agwek. It's just good striker's instinct there to get it in the right spot.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't ball watching, just got himself to a position where he could finish with one touch, and he put it in the back of the net.
Well, our final series tree is complete, and it's Marconi Stallions versus South Melbourne in Saturday's decider on December the 6th. Victoria versus New South Wales clash to finish what has been a terrific year of Australian Championship action. That is all we've got time for this afternoon on semi-final Saturday on SBS. I've been Josh Barish alongside Michael Kasija and David Bashir. Enjoy your week, and we'll catch you again next Saturday.